I'm going to ask you a question that atheists find difficult. Why should I believe in a God I can't see?
How don't you believe that God exists, brother? Don't you see? To even ask this, really. We have mind and logic. Look, this is really a matter of the mind. This is such a contradictory thing, do you know what I mean? Who did all these calculations? Where did this all come from? Do you understand? So did it just begin to exist? There isn't just one star, nor just one planet. There are millions of solar systems just like our own. So, who made all these, brother? Where did they come from? We have mind and logic. There's so much to say, brother.
No need to get upset. We're just talking. No problem. Guys, there's a question that atheists often ask to Muslims, a question that they find difficult, and I'm going to ask it to you now. If you're ready, here we go. Buddy, the question is, why should I believe in a God I can't see?
Why should I believe in a God I can't see? Well, let me think about it, buddy, because this question is quite common. So now, the existence of God is clear in many things. For example, you see, when it rains, or I don't know, when it snows. These kinds of things don't just happen by themselves. Seeing isn't the solution to everything. That is, everything is revealed through the power of God. Blessings and living things. All these things, such as mountains, stones, trees, frankly, I don't believe that everything is formed as a coincidence. They say it all comes from the Big Bang, but can a good result come from an explosion? Frankly, I don't know if it's ever been seen anywhere. I think it's a bit of an inner issue. We feel his presence from within. Let me give you a simple example. When we pray or perform a prayer, we are filled with peace. If this is possible, what if it wasn't so? Then it couldn't happen. How can't you believe that God exists, brother? Don't you see? Don't you see all that's going on? Where did all these things come from? How did it happen? How were you born? How did you come into this world? Do you know what I mean? Asking if God exists, brother, this is a very contradictory issue. Do you know what I mean? Since the day we were born, that is, we come to life through the existence of God. It has been in our hearts and souls since our childhood, brother. Even asking this is really unreasonable, brother. The world is among all these planets, do you understand? Who did all these calculations? Where did these come from? Do you understand? Did they just come into existence? Thousands of planets, thousands of atoms. We need to know the science of these, brother. These aren't simple calculations, do you understand?
Your answers were very good, guys. After all, we can summarize this in 4 main points. Buddy, the first point is that seeing isn't the only source for reaching the truth. In fact, most of the time our eyes can deceive us. For example, when we look at the sun, we see it as yellow, don't we?
Yes, we do.
But in reality, it is white. This is an example where our eyes deceive us. Or when we look at the sea, we see it as blue, but when we take a closer look, we can see that it is transparent. If our eyes can be deceived most of the time, even when we can see, then the eye isn't the only source of knowledge. Then visual-based truth-seeking and saying you don't believe because you can't see aren't logical. Is that right?
Of course. I think they're trying hard not to believe.
And the second point is, buddy, we already believe in so many things we don't see. For example, did you come here with your own free will or by force?
With my own free will.
Well, can you show me your will?
No.
Well, do we doubt will?
No.
So we can easily believe in things that we can't see. Or do we see maternal affection materially?
No.
But no one doubts maternal affection. So we also believe in things we don't see because our mind shows it to us. And the third point is that our mind is a better source than our eyes. Like what? Some things are so obvious, you believe it even if you don't see it. One day you wake up and you see a Ferrari in your garage, a red Ferrari. Let's say you don't see anyone around. Would you be in doubt that someone brought it there?
No, I wouldn't.
You don't see anyone, but if that car is there, you'd say, someone must have put it there, right?
That's true. Someone must have put it there. It couldn't have appeared by itself.
It's very simple, isn't it? It couldn't have appeared by itself. You've probably seen puppet shows. They're lifeless, unscientific, unconscious items and they don't have a will. There are puppets, but looking at their logical movements, we say there must be someone behind this, behind the curtains, moving them. Nobody says I don't see it, so I don't accept it. Would anyone deduce such a thing? After all, our universe and the world we live in are similar to these examples. For example, we talked about a Ferrari. We said that someone must have put the Ferrari there, but how can't there be someone who brings the universe into existence from non-existence?
Isn't it wonderful? Just think about it. The universe, brother, not just one star, nor just one planet. There are millions of solar systems just like our solar system. Can you imagine that we are only one among millions of living creatures? Brother, check it out. It's one big calculation, it's mind-blowing. At this point, asking about God, well, who made this, brother? Where did it all come from? There is mind and logic.
Look, this is really a matter of the mind.
350,000 people are born into this world every day. Now, when you say that there must be someone behind the Ferrari, someone that brings it into existence, how can we accept someone who creates, brings 350,000 people into this world every
So
day?
it really is, you're right.
Puppet shows. Of course, there must be someone behind it that manages it. And having someone behind atoms controlling them and making them to work in reasonable ways is also necessary. Why should I believe in a God I don't see? From a simple egg, a peacock hatches. And when you take a look, huge trees grow from a tiny seed. And does it offer us its fruits? It does. So we say that behind these simple items too, just like we look for someone controlling the puppets, is the existence of a being. In other words, the existence of God can be seen with our mind's eye. There is neither life, nor science, nor will, nor power in atoms. There is nothing, but when you look at the work they do, they make up our body. They form our eyes, our ears, making a suitable structure for the ear. Well, someone behind these atoms can be seen by the mind's eye.
So there is a game maker behind it all.
And buddy, the fourth point is that the artist isn't looked for in his art personally. For example, an artist isn't looked for in the painting he has drawn. Would anyone come and look at a painting and look for the artist in it, asking, where is the artist? They wouldn't look for him, right? Or is the carpenter search for inside the table he made? No, he isn't. But with the deductions there, we find the artist because as a letter displays itself in one way while it displays its author in many ways. Likewise, God has created the universe and the artist himself can't be expected to be materially present in his art. It wouldn't make sense. But what do? We make deductions from the actions, formations we see in the universe, right?
Yes, that's right.
So like this, God's being present here materially wouldn't be wise or logical.
That's definitely a very nice perspective. It surely is. So you can't see the person in the things he made. You only see the outcome he built, right? As you said, the carpenter makes a table and you see that table and you say, a carpenter made it. When you look at the world now, who made it, brother?
The universe is made up of atoms and material objects. Is the creator of atoms expected to be some kind of an atom?
No, he isn't expected to be so.
He isn't expected. That is, we believe in an immaterial being above the atoms, and for him to be seen materially doesn't make sense. We could put it this way, we are on a testing ground. People, some will choose to believe, some won't. Then God being seen in a person wouldn't be a logical move anyway. Is it making sense,
Yes,
buddy?
it is. Now I have a more logical answer to give. I agree with everything you say, all the way.
Did the answers make sense?
Yes, they did.
Having this information, does it all make
Yes.
sense now?
We're pretty enlightened. So now, brother, God, the great God, well, there's no need to personalize it like that. God is something else. Do you understand? People are trying to shape it in their heads. It isn't like that, brother. This is a supreme being.
Free from the material.
Of course, God is nothing like material. This is, brother, a matter of the heart. If you feel it in your heart, God is already with you, If someone doesn't feel this, whatever you say to that person won't make much of a difference. Heart, brother, heart. It has to be here. The rest doesn't count. It has to be in your heart, in your soul. Do you understand? You should shout the name of God everywhere. There's so much to say, brother.
No need to get upset. We're just talking. No problem.
There's so much to say, but,
You have already made very good explanations. God willing, we will pass this information to our brothers and sisters too, to ourselves, to our friends, and to atheists who ask about it. We already have these answers with proof. Nice to meet you. Take
Nice
care
to
of
meet you
yourself.
too.
Take good care of yourself.